You wake up already tired, not physically, emotionally. Your life on paper looks fine, maybe even good. You're functioning. You're responsible. You're doing what needs to be done. There's no obvious crisis, no visible collapse. And yet something inside you feels quietly drained, like a phone battery that never quite reaches full charge, no matter how long it's plugged in. You move through the day confidently. You respond, you perform, you show up. But everything feels heavier than it should. Even rest doesn't restore you. Even good moments feel muted. You ask yourself the same question over and over. Why am I so tired when nothing is actually wrong? Here's the paradox. The very traits that made your life fine are the same traits that are exhausting you. The emotional strength, the self-control, the ability to handle things quietly. What once protected you is now draining you. Because emotional tiredness doesn't come from chaos. It comes from constant self-management, from always being composed, from always holding it together, from carrying emotional weight so consistently that you forget it's even there. This is not burnout from doing too much. This is exhaustion from being too responsible with your inner world for too long. This pattern has a name, even if it's rarely spoken out loud. It begins with parentification, not necessarily raising siblings, but emotionally growing up too soon, becoming the stable one, the calm one, the one who doesn't add problems to the room. When a child learns that their emotions create stress, conflict, or burden, they adapt. They internalize, they self-regulate early. That early adaptation often becomes hypervigilance, a nervous system that constantly monitors tone, mood, and atmosphere. Not in panic, but in quiet readiness. Your body learned to stay slightly braced, alert, prepared. Over time, this creates an emotional neglect schema. Not neglect through absence, but neglect through lack of attunement. Your feelings weren't dangerous, but they weren't held either. So you learn not to expect emotional relief from others. Add avoidant attachment, not as emotional coldness, but as emotional efficiency. You rely on yourself. You minimize needs. You stay functional. Neurologically, your default mode network never fully powers down. Even in stillness, your mind reviews, manages, anticipates. So life can look calm, structured, and successful. But internally, you're running a background program that never stops. And that is emotionally exhausting. Carl Jung said that the greatest burden a child must bear is the unlived life of their parents. But there's another burden that often goes unnamed. The burden of being emotionally manageable. You learned early on that being low maintenance was safer. That being agreeable preserved harmony. That being okay kept things moving. So, you traded authenticity for acceptance, depth for stability, need for reliability. And the cost of that trade shows up as emotional fatigue. Not dramatic sadness, not despair, just a constant dull depletion. This is invisible grief. Grief for the parts of you that never got to be messy, for the needs you never practiced expressing, for the rest you never trusted yourself to take. The core fear beneath this exhaustion is not failure, it's disruption. Fear of being too much. Fear of resting and falling behind. Fear that if you stop managing everything, something will fall apart. So even simple moments carry weight. Rest feels earned, not allowed. Joy feels conditional. Stillness feels unproductive. And you keep going. Because stopping feels unsafe. This is how it shows up in adult life. You might feel emotionally tired even on easy days. You might struggle to name what you need until you're already depleted. You might be reliable in relationships, but rarely feel deeply nourished by them. You might perform well at work, yet feel strangely empty afterward. You might have loose boundaries, not because you don't value yourself, but because asserting needs feels disruptive. You might regulate emotions internally, but feel disconnected from yourself. You might define your identity around being capable, stable, and strong, while quietly resenting how much you carry. These are not flaws. They are coping strategies. They become adults who know how to function, but not how to soften, who know how to endure, but not how to receive. Unlearning begins with witnessing, not criticizing yourself for being tired, not telling yourself you should be grateful, but gently noticing, I'm exhausted because I've been holding my emotional breath for years. Awareness is not weakness. It's the beginning of release. Healing emotional tiredness doesn't mean doing less. It means carrying less internally. This starts with inner child reparenting, giving the part of you that learned to be self-sufficient permission to need without justification. It deepens through shadow work, meeting the part of you that believes rest must be earned, that calm must be maintained, that softness is risky. And it stabilizes through nervous system regulation. Slow transitions, boundaries without apology, moments of rest that are not optimized. You begin choosing softness over survival mode, presence over performance. Rainer Maria Rilke once wrote that life is asking us questions slowly over time. This exhaustion is not a failure, it's a question. A question asking whether you're ready to stop living only in a way that keeps everything fine and start living in a way that makes you feel alive. The goal is not to be fixed, it is to become whole. If this spoke to something in you, you're not alone in it. Share it with someone who carries quietly. And if this kind of psychological depth resonates, stay here. There's more to unpack together. Because rest isn't laziness. And emotional tiredness is not weakness. It's a signal.